Hello everyone, I am Tacet, and today I'm going to be going over the event objectives for the Rage Against the Machine event, so let's get into them. They appear to make them quite a bit easier this week than compared to last week, I guess because they made it so difficult last week that they figured they'd give us a little something. But this week, all we have to do is destroy brown troops in PvP to gain event gems. This is going to be ridiculously easy since almost every team will use brown, particularly since mechs have a bonus this week, and many mechs are also of the brown variety. So we're definitely going to be able to get these really quick. You can see it's already just a Tuesday, and I pretty much have all of mine with barely any play at all. It probably only takes about 3 hours, maybe even less. If you spend all the time in PvP. So yeah, a really nice week to be able to get all the rewards, and that's pretty good too because 2 of them are event keys. Event keys are going to be are really valuable this week as well as next week. This week mainly because of Tesla, and next week because it's going to be the New Kingdom event. And as far as other rewards, of course, the gems and other stuff, but there's also Spark Grinder. Spark Grinder is a relatively weak troop. Most notably, if you happen to get a CarX from event key drops, he is used mainly to buff up CarX, especially if you can happen to get him traded. This is mainly because you can give it a large amount of attack and armor, which of course the last trait on the CarX does boost up the amount of damage that he's going to do from skulls, so it is definitely a really nice buffer to have with it. Other than that, that's basically the only thing Spark Grinder is really used for, is to buff up CarX, so not too interesting of a troop there, but it does definitely have that nice single purpose. What's really interesting about this week is it's one of the easiest weeks they've ever done to be able to gain whatever the extra resource is. This week, all we have to do is just use a full team of mechs in PvP. It doesn't even matter if you win or lose, you still get that 500 gold. As far as other events, we do have a 25% bonus to all Adana, as well as a 25% bonus to all mechs. This is pretty nice since a good majority of Adana are mechs. So let's go into 2 teams. One of them you're probably going to see 1.5 billion times this week, and it is one that I have shown in the past, and one of them that I absolutely loved when it first came out. Bombot was the only common I ever bothered to get to Mythic when it was first released. And yes, the Deep Bore Double Bombot Black Manacles team. You're going to be seeing this so much this week, and you should build it if you happen to be able to accumulate everything. All you need for this is a Deep Borer, which is a rare, 2 Bombots, which are both commons, and either the Black Manacles, which you get at 40 brown, 40 purple, or if you need a cheaper alternative that you can get easier, in about an hour or 2, you can complete out the Adana questline, and then complete out the Kazeo questline, as well as the bonus questline at the end of it, and then you'll unlock a weapon called War and Peace. It is relatively similar to that of our Black Manacles. It uses 13 mana, has slightly less damage, doesn't do the Devour, but it has the brown mana that our Black Manacles has, so it's a good alternative since we will be needing to feed our brown into it. And that's about it. Just set ourselves to a Mechanist class, preferably fully traded, though it is not a necessity to actually win, and then we just go into it. It is a little bit hard sometimes fighting this exact team because whoever wins is determined by whoever gets their cast off first. So sometimes you can miss with your Deep Bore and stuff like that, and then you just end up losing. One pretty nice thing this week, though, is the fact that even if we do end up losing this week for with these Bombot teams, whenever you're using a full mech team, we are still getting that 500 gold, regardless of a win or lose outcome, which is quite different than most of the other weeks, because generally, whenever they did the extra resources, there was a requirement on top of it. They do a normal requirement plus the fact that you had to win, but this time around, all we have to do is actually just have them in our team, and then we automatically get it, so that's pretty nice. He did get a pretty devastating blow on us right there. I don't know if I should cast or not. Of course, like I said earlier, whoever gets the first cast off is basically the winner, and he did get the first cast off, so that will set us back quite a bit, especially if we end up missing this Deep Bore right here. Could have probably taken those reds just to get them out of the way, even though we didn't need the mana. But we'll throw this down, hopefully get to the last of our mana on Black Manacles. We do go 1 mana short. That is very unfortunate. We'll probably have to force ourselves into this skull right here, most likely. Doesn't look like we really have another option. We'll take it upward so we have a chance for a brown, though we do not get it. We'll let his Bombot do its thing. We'll get quite a bit of damage off us. And now it is essentially who just wins from this point on, from just trading off Black Manacle cast. He does have Black Manacle up, and I am just going to take the skull right here. I'm going to hope he uses Deep Bore and completely waste it, and he does not. That is a bit unfortunate. He does not get the Devour though, so we are still in a decent chance. If we get a Devour off right here on his hero, we actually just won. You will find many battles like this will sometimes end in just a brawl of who gets their Devour off on Black Manacle. Looks like he's gonna, nope, he's gonna take a skull. And if we don't get Devour here, it does look like we do end up losing this, because he will end up getting the, oh wait, he didn't go for the skull, okay. So that did get blocked, never mind, so he won't have enough damage yet. Please Devour. And nope, it will just be a battle of who gets their Devour first. Of course, one unfortunate thing about doing War and Peace is it doesn't have a Devour on it, so you don't have the Devour wars that happen at the end of the battle. But earlier on in the game, you wouldn't likely have to deal with Black Manacles anyway, since it is kind of a level related thing, since you only can get it at 40 brown, 40 purple. And generally, if you evenly spread all your masteries, that's until around level 250-ish on your hero. But all we need now, even though it does look like we are completely about to lose, we do have a slightly decent chance until just then, in which case we just lost. Okay, never mind. We could have gotten it with one more Black Manacle, but it does look like he is going to finish us off, so we'll do whatever. At least this will get to show off the fact that we do get 500 gold, even for losing, which is pretty amazing. Like you can see right here. Boom, 516 gold. There's the 16 from that we just accumulated. And then boom, 500 gold for the just free 500 gold. So even if we end up losing, we still get those event gems. We still get all of our gold. And it's a pretty nice reward. And let's try doing this again against not that team. There's a lot of teams that are kind of set up like this, and it's a little bit annoying because a lot of people are using Famine this week, which is a pretty good counter, since if you miss the Deep Bore, it kind of crumbles from there. But let's show it from us actually getting the Deep Bore up first, because that's normally what determines it, is who gets it up first. Some people I have noticed have been going with the Kraken banner, which is a +2 brown, +1 blue, -1 purple. I don't go for this because if we end up getting the battle to the point where it is a Black Manacle brawl, that'll put us at a disadvantage. One nice thing about using that banner though, which is why some people do it, is it gives you additional +1 on your Deep Bore. So if you take a blue on the first turn and it doesn't surge, it'll still be enough mana. Currently, with the Water Link, with no banner set, that'll only bring him to 8 mana instead of 9. So that's one of the reasons why see people using the Kraken banner instead of just the double brown banner. Personally, I prefer the double brown, but it really just depends on your preference. To be able to do the other banner, you would need to have the Water Link on Deep Bore, but that's a pretty easy trait to obtain. Okay, so we do have, of course, the upper hand here, since we were able to get our cast off first. And you can see just how devastating this is when it actually does work correctly as intended. And that's pretty much team right there. All we have to do is just take any one skull. Oh, I could have actually gotten that skull. Didn't see that that would have been next turn. I was going to bait him out with it to waste his turn, but we could have just won that turn. Didn't see the cascade there, but all we have to do from here is just damage him with anything, and that is the match. Gonna do something a little bit weird and cast it here in hopes that we can get a skull randomly there. We don't get it. We get some skulls going down, but not exactly where we need them. Nothing we can really drop right here. So we'll just take our brown, start getting that up. Hopefully we can just get a random skull up here and end him out that way. Let's see. Yep. Probably, okay, we'll just take that for now. That just shouldn't align him with skulls, and it doesn't, but it doesn't give him a shuffle, unfortunately. So he'll get that, which will delay us a bit more since we don't really have alignment at the moment. We could probably lure out him taking skulls right there, so I'm going to do just that. He'll hopefully take the brown to deny us. Nope, he goes for his own color instead. Well, we'll be able to utilize that then and hope for a brown in this general area, and yes, we do get it. And there's the Black Manacle we needed to be able to end it. He does have Impervious, so we can't get the Devour, but of course it does do damage to all enemies, so we can just completely negate that. And now let's go do one more all-mech team. Might as well do another one, since some of you may not want to use this. It is pretty high risk, high reward. You'll win a lot, you'll lose a lot. Your wins will be super quick, unless you make a mistake like that. But generally, or sorry, not an all-mech team. I wanted to show basically what you can do with CarX when he has a 50% bonus. As far as all mech teams, I did I don't really think there are too many other ones that you can do other than what I just showed. You'll have to build it around the Mechanist class, of course, especially if you have the traits for it. But I've mainly just been using that, and even something like this that does use the new Tesla. Unfortunately, Tesla is a human and not a mech in any way, shape, or form, so you don't actually get the 500 gold bonus from that. So that really just pretty much leaves variants of Bombot team for the most part for getting the 500 extra gold, so do keep that in mind. But as far as CarX, you may have already gotten from Event Key. I don't believe I'm going to do a video completely going over him, so here's a pretty solid team that you can do, particularly given the fact that he has a 50%. Other than a team like this, of course, one other pretty simple thing you can do with a CarX is simply put a Spark Grinder into your team. Spark Grinder is insanely good at buffing up a CarX, and is pretty much the only purpose that Spark Grinder has in the game. But we'll just do that, get our extra turn, get our Giant Spider off, get our Keeper of Souls off. In a perfect game, we'd actually be able to loop this infinitely, and it is possible. I don't know if we're actually going to get it this battle. I believe this is still turn 1, and that'd be amazing if we could get it first try on turn 1. It's been a while since I have. We'll do this on the green first. I don't want to do it on yellow because we will maybe get our Shadow Dragon up just like that, which then allows us to get an extra turn, which will allow us to get our Keeper Souls back right up. It'll also get our Dragon Soul right back up, and it is looking pretty promising for a turn 1 wipe right there. Or is this turn 1? Don't know for sure if it was turn 1. It's pretty close to turn 1. First or second, somewhere around that general area. But it's going pretty well. You can see it does have a lot of loop potential. It potentially could loop endlessly. You might not always get that lucky. Really depends on what the board is like. But you can see, going pretty well right now. That should be enough for Keeper of Souls. Come on, please. Yes, it is. Oh, and that is match. But yeah, you can see, pretty much in just one turn, we did all of our damage. And that is the power of 50% CarX. Don't underestimate it. It is insanely strong, especially since he got that buff on his ability, which gives him even more armor, which means even more damage. And the fact that he has 50% makes him really, really devastating. So if you didn't know what to do with your CarX, there you go. It does, of course, use quite a few other legends. Keeper of Souls and Shadow Dragon, unfortunately, I do not believe have an alternative for this team. Or actually, pretty much every single troop in that team I don't believe has an alternative, because you can't use Bone Dragon because you don't have control over it, plus it got nerfed, and there isn't anything else that does a yellow to purple convert, or anything to purple convert, that also uses purple as one of their primary colors. So or I don't believe there is, unless I'm mistaken of one, but Shadow Dragon would still be better. And there we go, the CarX. CarX and mainly this Bombot team. I'm pretty sure both of these teams, yeah, we are going to be seeing so many of this exact team this week. I definitely advise using it, because even if you lose, as you saw earlier, we do get that 500 gold. Really fun event week, because personally, this is still one of my favorite teams currently in Gems of War. It got quite a bit weak in the past from just some changes that got done. He indirectly got nerfed over time, even though they haven't ever touched the Bombot. But with 50% extra bonus, I definitely advise using this team. It is a lot of fun to do, and pretty nice things for the event week this week. Anyways, that'll wrap it up for this video. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.